We're not going to let you build your FEMA camp and act like it's not there. We're going to go cover it.
There you go.
We're going to be right back with John Rappaport to cover his latest news on the empire of the psychiatric police state. Then your phone calls for Martin and others that are patiently holding. Stay with us. We'll get to Chris, Chad, Michael, Will.
We're on the march.
Everybody, stay with us.
The empire's on the run.
All right, and that's good music to bring us in. Because our reporters just got out, and David Knight says that as they're driving away from the base on the main highway, there are just cops following them, cops everywhere. So I guess they're stopping, getting on Skype to give us a quick report. We'll go back to John Rappaport and to your phone calls. NoMoreFakeNews.com is John's site. How long are we till getting him ready to go? Couple minutes. Okay, fine. We'll go to him a couple minutes. But the issue here is that there's an attack on free press in this country, and they wouldn't let us go see what the base is for, even though we know what it's for. They've hidden it in plain view, trying to take on gun owners and the Tea Party. And so we still went on there yesterday and got the footage, and today they arrested them. In fact, the headline is, our people were detained. No, when they take you to the police station and keep you for 3 hours, almost 3 hours, that's called being arrested. And then I see idiots on YouTube going, because we've already got video up from earlier in the show because it's breaking. Going, your guys didn't get on the base. They already did, dummy. Not all of us stay in our mother's basements our entire lives. Just a little newsflash for you out there. I always love how the armchair quarterbacks sit there and talk to people that have done this stuff hundreds of times, and people that have risked their lives to bring you information. And people that have crawled around in the mud and snakes to cover what's happening. And then you sit around saying we failed. You know, the only time we fail is not taking action, buddy. When we fail, we win. Because we're going to continue to adapt and overcome. And it's that simple. We're going back to John Rappaport here in just a moment. It is more important than ever that you support the InfoWar, and you've been doing it, and I want to thank you. Become an InfoWars Nightly News subscriber at InfoWarsNews.com or PrisonPlanet.tv. 11 memberships, the price of one. Get it out to friends and family. Share it, watch it, download it, hand it off to people. That's how you wake folks up. PrisonPlanet.tv. Get a membership. It helps fund the operation. Plus, you're right at the tip of the spear of the InfoWar. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to get the incredible Nation iodine that's done so much for myself and my family and just cleaned out my body and given me more energy. I mean, I still look like hell, but a lot better than I did before. I'm kind of I guess a pretty corpse right now, as they'd say. The point is that it's all available at InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. And we've got a discount on the Nation iodine Survival Shield that's going to end next week, where it's $5 off. It's $24.95. That's way below half the price. Way below half the price and double the strength of the leading competitor. But that special will end next week. We've got another special coming out next week, but that special will end next week. InfoWarsLife.com. And I want to thank you all for your support. The books, the T-shirts, the high-quality organic coffee. It's all there. The water filters. InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com, the Made in America Patriot Apparel to meet like-minded people, the new Molon Labe shirt for men and women, so much more. MadeIn1776.com. Now, we're going to go back to John Rappaport in a moment to talk about his latest article and take some calls. But first off, our reporters who got picked up by the base police and taken in, even though we looked around for base police and others yesterday trying to get an interview, they had to act like they were bad and bring them in. And then now they've got police following them off the base just to feel like, you know, you're the bad guys. So I'd pull over and ask the cops what they need. But let's go now to Virginia. They're outside the base, correct? David Knight and Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs.
That's right, Alex. We're headed back. We're headed for our flight. They escorted us out. They gave us a paper from the colonel. But they said we weren't being arrested. We weren't being detained. They just held us for questioning for a couple of hours, two or 3 hours, I guess.
Under anyway, common law and federal and state law, you were arrested.
Yeah. Well, what he was, you know, semantics. He says, well, yeah, you can get up and leave, but then we'd have to pick you up because you're not allowed to be on foot on the base. You know, we're not letting you take the car type of thing, you know, so it's semantics. But anyway, they they waited until they got a letter from the colonel and basically said that we are temporarily suspended from getting on the base for a year.
All right, well, your Skype's breaking up, but bottom line, they tried to stop us. I mean, you drove on the base. Now, I'm told you're being followed by police.
No, not now. Not now. Looks like it stopped. We had a whole bunch of police outside the base. I don't know if that was a regular thing. I mean, it was a lot of police outside the base, but then they escorted us out of the base from the police department. So, it's the sort of thing. They were waiting for us when we came. There's never been any problem with us going in.
Yeah, David, I wanted you guys to, unless you're late for your flight, to stop somewhere where you've got good bars.
We went in a couple of times yesterday, and we didn't have any problems with them. Okay. All right. All right. We need to, if we get some good bars, we need to pull over and stop. Am I still on there, Alex?
Yeah, it's probably not good to be moving when you do it. If you could pull over where you got good bars, we can conduct the interview. Okay.
If I've got, I've got 3 bars right now.
Yeah, you're good. Stop. Stop right there.
Stop, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Now, just in a nutshell, describe what happened. Then I want to get Staff Sergeant Biggs' take on it.
Well, when we pulled up this morning, there wasn't any problem. We went in and we talked to the lady who let us in yesterday and told her that we'd like to interview somebody and see if there's somebody we could talk to, a public information officer. And she told us which building to go to. The guy came out and greeted us. And he said there wasn't anybody that could talk to us. We needed to talk to the lieutenant colonel who did the video when they had the grand opening of the center, and she wasn't there. And so I gave him all my information and asked if she would call me and I could do maybe even just a 5-minute phone interview with her. And everything seemed to be fine. But then they followed us out. There's a guy maybe about 10 feet behind us. He walked behind us, all the way out to the car and then stopped. And then this guy came out. Looked like he was heading over to his car, but we couldn't tell that he followed us. And so then we left. And then we went back this afternoon to, just before the radio show. At that point, when we pulled up, the guy said, turn your car off and give me the keys. And, pull your, that was when we knew that things were going to go bad. And at that point, they had us wait for a while, and then they escorted us to the police department, and because they have like a private police department here, it's not military police. And we were there for, I guess, 2 or 3 hours. I don't know how long it was that we were there. And
were they laughing at you and acting like you were weird, want to know what was going on in the base?
No, actually, they didn't say too much to us at all. The guy was not happy with me filming as we came up there, and he took that away. They frisked us and took us back to a detention area and had us wait there while they talked to the colonel and see what he wanted to do.
Well, when the enemy comes around, you got to lock them up here in the free country. I want to get Biggs' take on this. Even if Joe can't hear me, I'm not sure if he can, but ask Joe to give us his take on what the base is and how they treated him and just his thoughts.
Can you give him your take on the base and how you're treated, just your thoughts?
I guess they treated us okay. It was pretty, they just kind of swarmed us and made me take the keys out of the car, place them up on the dash. And then he took the paper from me that I got from him at the gate earlier saying that I could be on base. The MP took it back from me. And then a police car came up, escorted us in there, and then they left us in some room for a long time. They kept saying, oh, it'll be any minute. And then they left some guy in there with us just to joke around with us to pass time while they went back and forth and talked to the colonel and did whatever they did. They took my ID 2 times and made numerous copies, and definitely not a fun time, but whatever. We got it.
Got all of our phone numbers, our social security number.
Yeah, they got all of my information, where I live and what I do from day to day.
Yeah, to put you in a suspicious persons report, to act like you've done something wrong. We know what's going on at that base. They're trying to take on the American people. That's public knowledge. They're doing that. The fact is that base is clearly one of the sites. Biggs, you were telling me off air that you think his barbed wire, concertina wire, is inside it, and it's inside a base, that it has dual purposes. Repeat what you told me off air yesterday, and then break down what you think's really going on there.
Say it again?
You said you were telling them the concertina wire is inside the base.
Yeah, break down what you think's going on with the base.
Well, I mean, the base itself is just, it seems like some kind of like regular training spot, maybe for reservists, but on the inside, I mean, once we went in there, the guy that, I mean, there's something definitely going on there that's not normal activity, you know? The guy that followed us outside of that asymmetric warfare center earlier came up and he had the gall to like talk to me like he was all buddy and ask me about my tours and my injuries and all that stuff outside the police station. And he kind of just like smiled and laughed like a cynical laugh and then drove off back to his